As well.
Thank you, sir.
So, so it's an absolute pleasure to have all of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some beautiful images. I'm going to tell you some stories. I'm going to talk to you about how we teach product design. We're going to talk about the courses that you do, the opportunities in the industry that you have. And after I finish, please feel absolutely free to ask me any question that you want, not just about product design at AnantU, but product design in general, about careers in product design. कौन नौकरी देता है, or how much do I make? All those questions are absolutely valid. You guys are starting off on your careers and you deserve to know. Right? So with that, I would begin. Now, the four words that you actually see are not written just like that, but I think that's really the philosophy of the program. We aspire to be change makers in the sense that we want to change some of the situations. We want to make life better. We're tinkerers. We constantly build things in the lab. So I'll show you images of some of the labs that we have and the makerspace that we have, which is fantastic. Some of us are corporate warriors. I'll share stories about some of our students who've gone on to grab very handsome offers at Accenture and TCS. And finally, as faculty, I think we are evangelists of change, because as faculty, we seriously believe that we are responsible for your careers, we're responsible for your futures, and we shall do justice to that responsibility, that awesome responsibility that we have. Right. So here we go. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So before I begin the usual gyan about product design and all the dry stuff, I'm going to tell you some of the recent success stories that we have. And these people and these students of ours have made us proud. And it's an absolute moment of happiness for me to share this with you. This is Tejas Gaikwad. Tejas Gaikwad is still in his 8th semester. He's finishing up his graduation project at the moment, but he has been accepted for the MA product design program, master's program at the Royal College of Art. Okay, and most of you would know Royal College of Art is actually one of the top most ranked programs in the world for product design. And he's made it there, which should also tell you that the kind of work that he's done at Anant University and the recommendation letters that we've given him has played a big role. So we are extremely proud of him for making us proud, right? And his thesis project, which he's working on, is very interesting. He's looking at how dental chairs that dentists use, and you won't believe this, all of them are imported. So he's looking at how we can Indianize, or for Indian conditions and standards, a dental chair can be made. So that's Tejas. The next success story that we have is Kushnu Modi. Kushnu Modi had she's also from product design. She graduated last year, but she's just sent us news just a few weeks back that she's been selected for MA in product design at the Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD, which is another brilliant program for a master's degree, if you were to ever consider it, in the US. And she had a completely different interest. And her interest was, she was looking at how teak wood, which a lot of us know, can be used to create the perfect modern coffee table. So her interest was in furniture, and she's been accepted in Royal College of Art. Right? Shreya Shah still continues to be on campus. She is the co-founder of a very interesting startup called Papaya. Her partners, her co-founders are from North America. One is in Paris, two are in North America. She's sitting in India, so it's kind of a globalized startup. And she looks at how menstruation can be eased for women. They have a very interesting product which is called the menstrual underwear, which has a pad with the underwear, which helps women, deal with menstrual cycles better in public. So Papaya is the name of the startup that she has founded, which is fantastic. I mean, she's really made us proud. And finally, one of my favorite boys, one of my favorite students from the third year, he's in the fourth year now. This is Srinivas Ilango. Srinivas Ilango actually has bagged a beautiful offer from Accenture, and he works in the field of user experience. And his recent project that got him that job offer was how can we design new experiences in the metaverse, right? So what did we see? The point is, what did we see from furniture to metaverse to, social innovation? What did we see? It simply is this slide says everything. It says whoever you are and whatever your aspirations are and whatever your past may be, product design department at AnantU always has a place for you, because this is that point where you can find yourself and you're not going to be limited by the fact that product design means that I'll have to do complicated stuff, or product design means that I have to make this. But you can decide what you want to do, and you can choose which. Product design is a beautiful discipline. It's a very vast discipline, and I'm going to try and explain that to you. But please remember this slide: product design has a place for you. That's the point I'm trying to make, whatever your aspirations are. Okay, so what is product design? Simple question, but from 1947, since the time that our country gained its independence all the way till today, the word product design has changed. So we don't define product design as a problem-solving discipline. For us, it's an opportunity to make life better. But broadly, product design is an umbrella term that includes 1, physical products, 2, digital products, 3, strategy, 4, services. All right, so it is that vast a discipline, and so it's one of the greatest advantages to actually study product design, because it offers you so much amount of scope. So the next question that should really be running in your head, and you must be itching to ask me this question, is what do I really learn once I come to AnantU? What will you teach me? And well, what we will teach you, these are the core 8 pillars of product design. Okay, and of course, there are many other courses that we will teach you, many other projects that you will do, but these are the fundamental pillars on which product design is based on. 1, that there is a process for creativity. Okay, so creativity is not luck. Creativity is not serendipity. So you don't have long hair and you don't look at the sky waiting for an idea to come to you. You should be productive every single day. So that's called the design process. The second thing will teach you human factors, which is the science of how people really work with machines. Then we teach you research methods so that you can go out, speak to people, gather data, and then do design properly. For product designers, you need a lot of understanding of materials and manufacturing, because everything that you see around you is a product, right? From the chairs, the cars, the electronics, it's all product design. So materials and manufacturing, we will teach you that. And then the soft skills below, you see this entire row. You have sketching, you have CAD modeling, you have presentation skills, and finally, my favorite one, anger management. Because we're going to demand so much from you, and we're going to push you hard so that you can be the best version of yourself. That you may hate us for 4 years, but at the end of the day, we will be friends, and you'll be thanking us for turning you into tough ones. Okay, so anger management is absolutely important. Jokes apart, it simply means that we'll teach you presentation skills. We will teach you how to cope with this. The next important question that you should really be asking me about product design is, if I become a product designer, where can I work? Kahan kaam karunga main? Right? And so this is the beauty of product design. This is how wide a landscape product design is. Product designers work, number 1, in the field of durables, so consumer durables. We do medical equipment. Then we do UI UX, something that many of you would be knowing. A lot of a lot of product designers work in the field of social innovation. Many of my product design students actually are obsessed with toys and games. They're developing new games and new toys. From wooden toys to electronic toys, they build this. Some of my students are interested in furniture and lighting. Some of them are interested in lifestyle decor. And there are about 5 or 10 who are absolute motorheads. They want to do cars, they want to do bikes, and they want to do cycles. So, there's a bunch of motorheads there. So these 8 literally are the broad domains in which product design can happen. What does that mean? It means that when you learn the techniques of product design and the fundamental skill sets, you have so much amount of options to do, and you're not limited कि मुझे सिर्फ ये करना है, मुझे सिर्फ वो करना है. You can do literally everything if you put your mind to it. The next question should be, how am I different? Why should I come to AnantU? Why don't I go to the other schools? Of course you can, but these are the 3 things as to why we are different. One, we'll offer you industry projects. That means that there is real life learning. So it's not theoretical, just theoretical projects. As soon as you get into the senior years, we will offer you real life industry projects. A lot of my students work with industry projects. We teach you technology, and you see some of the courses. I assure you that we are one of the most advanced programs in the country. Just take a look at the course when I come to the slide on courses. We offer technology, and finally, we teach inventive mindset. That means that you're constantly thinking of new things to do or new things to make, which is very, very important in the world of product design. So these 3 mindsets are very, very important. Now, let me show you some project images of the students in the recent, I think last year or this year, in the same categories of the 8 categories, so that you get a sense of the kind of work we do. The first one I said was consumer durables, right? And in consumer durables or personal electronics, this particular project, I love this particular project. This is called Coal, and this is meant for mountaineers, it's meant for trekkers, it's meant for solo travelers. It's a crumpleable bottle that either heats your water or cools your water, depending on how you like it. So imagine that you pour some water, it filters the water, and then it heats it up if you're in a cold area, and it cools it down if you're in a hot area. It allows you to trek anywhere. So this is Coal. Does anybody recognize the car on the right? Abhishek, do you recognize the car on the right?
No, sir.
No, it's a very famous international brand. Urvi, what do you think?
Karthik says Kia.
No, that was a trick question. This was actually a design done by my 6th semester student.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
This is actually one of the student projects. Look at the quality of finishing. Just look at the quality, what has been achieved. It looks real, right? I mean, this is the kind of skill sets that we will teach you in the world of, at the university. So this is one of the most fantastic projects I've seen in the last semester. And on the left-hand side, you will see another beautiful project which was done by Smith, who graduated last year. And his graduation project was an electric charger which is mounted on the highways of India. Right? So which means that, when electric cars are here in a big way, how do we charge our electric cars or electric bikes on the highway, which is a problem? It's okay. The world is evolving into electric vehicles. So you need infrastructure as well as cars. So that's why you have 2 different explanations here. But the quality of finishing and the quality of thinking is fantastic in both the projects. So this is by people who are only interested in mobility and in automotives. So they're interested in cars, they're interested in electric vehicles. The next one, this is a very interesting project. This is from the world of medical devices. It is done by one of our students called Prayag Patel. What Prayag has done is that he's built this cooler for vaccines. So this suitcase-like cooler can be pulled like the way you walk into an airport or a railway station with thing. So instead of lifting it, so this is actually a small portable cooler for vaccines, so which people can take to rural India. It's another beautiful project that has been done, right? Oh, I love this project. This is an area called, so that was medical devices, and now we are entering into an area what we call as phygital devices. Phygital devices simply means physical devices and digital interfaces put together. So this is called phygital devices. This is a very beautiful desktop calendar reminder, smart object, which sits, syncs with your app, gives you reminders. So there is an old world nostalgia about the calendar, but it is also a very highly advanced device which is sitting on your desk, talking to you, giving you reminders, and so on and so forth. This is another beautiful project from the world of social innovation. This is Shreya Mehta, who graduated last year. And Shreya did her capstone project, and she was trying to help people who don't have houses and people who sleep on the pavements and under bridges and so on and so forth. They don't have beds and they don't have anything. So she was looking at a project that converts industrial waste into warm sleeping bags or normal sleeping bags if you're in a hot climate. But this was really to protect people and children who are forced to sleep outside on the pavements from the weather. Right? Very, very beautiful project. This project was sponsored by IIT Bombay, by the way. So, it's a great matter of great honor for us. Yes, Abhishek, bataiye sir.
Sir, one question is coming again and again.
Yes.
The level of mathematics required.
Oh, there is no math. There is no math. Okay. There is no math in product design. But that would be wrong if I say that there is no math in product design. What we expect you to do is to do fundamental calculations. You should be able to measure things. You should be able to talk in millimeters, and you should be able to just add and subtract things. That's all that you need. Because anything more than this is actually in the realm of engineering. Of course, you'll work with engineers, but it is their expertise. And you need basic arithmetic in product design. But you need to be good at basic arithmetic. थोड़ा सा वो scale देख के आना चाहिए. Otherwise, product design gets really, really difficult, right? Basic arithmetic. So don't panic. We will teach you what you want to know, what you have to know. So don't panic. There's nothing that, Any other questions, Abhishek?
No, sir, not at this point of time.
Should I carry on?
Yes, sir, please.
So, another lovely area. This is done by Ishani Rai, one of our, final year students. So she's obsessed about toys and games. She wants to work with children. She really likes children, and she wants to work for them, do design projects. So all her projects were toys and games. And so she's done this thing called Twist and Turn, which allows grandparents and grandchildren bond by attaching things and pulling them together, which also develops dexterity in the children, but it also gives the opportunity for the grandparent to actually spend some time with the child. So large rubber, it doesn't hurt the child, easy to screw, easy to take in. It builds their skills very much. So this is Twist and Turn. This is a fantastic project from the world of furniture. This is done by Anushka Mohapatra. Anushka is a final year student now, and her chair is a chair for women who are undergoing menstruation and in corporate settings, so that they could, when they develop the menstrual cramps, they're able to get away and spend about 15-20 minutes to let the body settle down. But look at the quality of finishing. Look at the quality of expression. It's a very beautiful project, very thoughtful project, very sensitive project. She's done it in a very, very, very beautiful way. So this is the level of skills that you would also expect. Lifestyle and decor, right? This is an area that a lot of my students work in. Now here is, I have a third year student called Aman Yash, and Aman has been obsessed with shoes. He's obsessed with sneakers, and he doesn't want to do anything but sneakers. And so we encouraged him to do sneakers, right? And this is a beautiful thing. His latest project is a sneaker in which you can take the top off and you can change the color like a watch strap. So you, depending on the occasion, depending on your mood, you can actually change the color of the shoes. So you're not stuck with one, right? So it has different uppers and consistent lower. So you can actually work this very beautifully done project. So this should tell you how broad product design literally is, correct? So any questions so far?
It's about the placements, so we can take this in a later part.
No, I'll get there. Don't worry, I'll get there. So the next question you should really be asking is that fantastic, you've shown us all examples of great projects, very colorful, sab badhiya hai, but is your curriculum futuristic? Because by the time we graduate, it will be 2027, है ना? And will the curriculum purana hai, naya hai, kya hai? And just look at the courses, okay? And you'll be surprised. And I can tell you that we are probably one of the very few courses, very few universities in the country which offer you such a futuristic curriculum, right? From the world of technology, we teach you materials, manufacturing. You have introduction to artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. We have an AR VR lab, immersive media lab, where you'll actually do a project in AR VR in your seventh semester. From design, we will teach you form, semantics, computer aided industrial design, which is modeling, and we'll teach you biomimicry. From design management, we will have professional practices, innovation models, and this is my favorite. In the seventh semester, we'll actually do portfolios, and we will actually take you through a Shark Tank experience so that you will know how to stand and defend your design, and you learn to ask for money for your innovation. So that's the aspiration. Urvi would be very surprised because Urvi knows the older curriculum, but this is after a curriculum review, Urvi. So
Yeah.
you'll be studying all this,
Okay.
right? And then you do 6 projects, right? So third semester, fourth semester, fifth semester, sixth semester, seventh and eighth. First, of course, is foundation year, which is very, very common. But 6 design projects, and these 6 design projects would be simple product design, technically complex product design. You'll do UI, UX, you'll do apps, you'll do a graduation project, you'll do craft, and so on and so forth. So the curriculum is a mix of emerging technologies, hardcore fundamentals of design that you should be able to, but it gives you a wide option to do whatever you want in different streams. We encourage our students to find themselves. That means that if you like furniture, do a lot of furniture. If you like UI UX, do a lot of UI UX. If you like cars and mobility, my suggestion is that focus a lot on that instead of trying to do everything else. The next question is, what facilities do we have to do all this? Now, all this, if you see the projects that we've done, we can't do it if we don't have facilities. Now, facilities don't always mean physical facilities, because I'm going to show you some wonderful faces of very intelligent people who will actually teach you all this. But in terms of physical facilities, we have this very beautiful space called the maker space, which is wood, metal, plaster of Paris, plastics, etc. You handle the basic materials, the properties, you're able to make prototypes. These are actually images, and that's my uncle, and who's teaching one of our students called Rohan on the right hand side. And then, of course, as Abhishek mentioned, we have the Future Shift Lab, which is like highly advanced, crazy different lab for advanced product design, where we build really interesting stuff. So we can do 3D printing, we can do augmented reality, we can do virtual reality, we do immersive media projects, and we will teach you all that in the seventh semester. So this is you start with the makerspace, and then you move up to the advanced product design lab in your senior years. So that's really the transition. These are some images of Future Shift. It's a bright red room, which is highly dynamic, and then we've got a lot of toys inside that you can play with when you come here. And we encourage a lot of experimentation, so you should try and build some things new. We also have a very standard stock IT lab, which has all the softwares which are very important to you. So we actually have the capability and the licenses to teach you SolidWorks, Rhinoceros, Adobe, of course, many other software that are embedded in the curriculum. Will give you introductions either as core courses or as workshops, which then you'll be able to take that forward. So frankly speaking, great spaces, great curriculum, not possible without intelligent people, as I said. So these are the intelligent people who run product design. I am just fortunate to help coordinate it or direct it at the moment, but some wonderful colleagues with me. That's Professor Milind Chitle, that's Professor Dashra Sevak, Subhalakshmi Mohapatra, Parcha. For example, in the first row, Professor Milind Chitle is from IIT Bombay. Dashra Sevak is from NID Ahmedabad. Subhalakshmi Mohapatra is a PhD in economics from Utkal University, Orissa. Parcha is a mechatronics engineer, so he helps you build all the circuits and all the cool stuff. And he's from Nirma. On the bottom row, you have Professor Gayatri Gauri Shankar, who's actually from Mauritius. And she runs very interesting electives for us. And then you see my face here. And as Abhishek has already introduced me, I went to NID Ahmedabad 23 years back. We have Professor Parth Rawal, young colleague, but a very dynamic colleague. He gets along great with students. And Professor Parth Rawal is from IIT Delhi. And then we have Dr. Dhara Thakur. Dhara Thakur is a PhD from IIT Delhi, and then her expertise is in entrepreneurship. So whatever you invent in your projects is the one who gets you the funds to take it forward. So very important, from top to bottom cycle. We run a lot of master classes throughout. Okay, we run a lot of master classes in the School of Design, and these master classes are amazing because they're all of different types. So from technology to puppetry to pottery, we offer you everything, and these are all master classes. So you can take what you want, deciding, depending on what you like. You don't have to do AR, VR all the time. If you like puppetry, you can take puppetry. If you like ceramics, if you like pottery, then you can work with terracotta. Okay, so this is what we do. We also do a lot of visits outside the campus, and this is very important for us. In fact, I've made it a rule that in product design, now we have one visit every semester mandatorily. All the batches have to go out. They're normally visiting industries, they're visiting other places where things are produced so that they understand. So we do both. On the left-hand side, for example, you have crafts, and then you have other machine industries and so on and so forth. They're going to Hitachi, by the way, next week. We're taking them to Amtrex Hitachi here in Ahmedabad. So the whole air conditioning manufacturing plant is something that they'll see. But on the right-hand side, you also have international opportunities. So we have MOUs with Portugal, we have MOU with the University of Pennsylvania, we have MOU with Lisbon. So these are summer workshops. So you kind of, if you're interested, you can travel outside. So what are our achievements in 2023? We have 25 patent applications. Students are generating patents. We'll file for another 15 this semester. We have funded projects, supported projects from Crompton Greaves, Seagull, IIT Bombay, Studio ABD. I mean, dozens of them. We have industry-sponsored capstone projects from leading studios and corporates. We've been formally recognized by Accenture and TCS for the quality of our graduates. And by the way, as I mentioned, since I took Dr. Dhara Thakur's name, when you do an interesting project and you come up with something new, we'll help you file for a patent. Not just that, but we will give you 2.5 lakh rupees to make it. And 2.5 lakh rupees, not a loan, a grant, right? That means that, we will gift 2.5 lakh rupees to you to try and make that prototype work. Now, that is a fantastic offer. And that's the reason why we should do it. Last slide was really about placements. I will not talk about the numbers. Because it's not fair, but I can tell you that the top level salaries at the moment at the undergraduate level for Accenture and TCS are above 8.5 lakhs per year. Okay, but it's above 8.5. There are a few who have done 11.5. But there are many other people who have decided to work with the craft industry. They're working in the field of education. They have started their own startups. So I don't think that we should measure success by just the money. I think it is really the opportunity to, make the world a different place. Okay, but placements is very important. We have a cell that works constantly for you, helps you do your portfolios, sets up interviews for you. Manages the communication between that. So we do all that. And plus your last semester, which is your graduation project, it is actually done in the industry. So that means that, you already know how the industry works by the time you get there. So I'll stop here. Abhishek, happy to take any questions. I can turn this presentation off if you want, if you instruct me. So.
Yes, sir. So I would request Urvi. I've requested Srinath as well. And he's joining in 5-7 minutes. So by that time, if Urvi can share her experience at AnantU till now and her experience into product design.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Urvi. I am in the second year of product design at Anant National University. So if you join, I'll be your super senior. And I'll just talk about my experience, what it's like been for the past 2 years in product design. So before coming into second year, I already knew that I wanted product design, but I did not know it would be so very beautifully complex. So in your first year, you do have the foundation program, which is just you learn skills that every designer needs to learn, regardless of regardless of whatever discipline you're going to take. But if you've seen Bhaskar sir's PPT, product design is very vast. It's very diverse. So you're free to choose your field of interest. Like he showed you, you can choose UX, you can choose automobiles, medical, healthcare, whatever you're interested in. And if you don't know what field you're interested in, the faculties also help you find your interest, And if you already do, they will encourage you to fulfill it. And just in the beginning of the semester, to the end, you will notice that your skill set in product design will improve exponentially. So it will be from just your rendering skills, products, skills rendering products, and your understanding with materials, your understanding of forms, and just practical solutions. It will grow exponentially. And I think the beautiful thing about product design is that you get to create something that is very impactful, very meaningful to humans. It's very closely related to humans. And you get to create it from scratch. So you get to be a part of every single design process. Like just from the bigger things like, oh, what color is my product going to be, to deciding what machine is going to manufacture a certain part of your product, to deciding the assembly process. And throughout the semester, you will learn ergonomics, you'll learn manufacturing processes. You'll also learn just the economic market of the product. So it's not just you're just designing a product and then you have no idea how it's going to sell. You will learn what's the market, right? What you're supposed to design, how it's going to sell, those kind of things. And I think just apart from academics, apart from the jobs and the placement, if you put all of that aside, one of my favorite things about product is just how it's really changed my mindset about how I look at things. We are encouraged so much to take inspiration from around you, take inspiration from already existing products, take inspiration from animals, take inspiration from nature, from other mechanisms. I think just within these 2 years, I've really developed this like childlike appreciation for the world and how it functions. I am so curious every time I see something new. I'm always like, wow, what is this? How does this work? And then, you start thinking of how you can implement it into things, how you can see it into solving problems. It just becomes a part of you. I think that's the most beautiful, most interesting thing about product design. And for personally, my interaction with the faculty so far has been very, very fruitful, very helpful. All of the faculties, they come from a very diverse background, as Sir had mentioned. Like there's faculties from mechanical engineering, there's faculties that are just pure designers, and all of them have something, every one of them has something new and something, unique to offer to you. And they're all very, very supportive of whatever you decide to choose. No one's going to impose something on you. You have to do automobiles, or you have to do lifestyle, whatever interest you have, they will do what's best within them to help you achieve that and to help you own that. And yeah, I think that is my favorite thing about Anant as well, that you have this freedom to choose your favorite field, and regardless of whatever it is, the faculty will support you unbiasedly throughout it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer.
अभी तक पढ़ाई की बातें हुई. Can you share life at AnantU?
Life at AnantU, it's really nice, really diverse. Honestly, when I first came here, so I live in the hostel, right? And I had planned on being a very shy kid, not talking to anyone, just chupchap room mein baith ke kaam karke so jaungi. But the life, it's so lively. There's so many people, they're so willing to talk to you. They're all very, very non-judgmental. Everyone is just really happy to be here. And it's very lively here, and I've completely transformed as a person. I've become like a very much more outgoing person now, that my friends don't even believe that if I tell them that before this I used to be an introvert, actually I didn't even want to talk to people. So the people here are very supportive in that way. They don't judge you in any way. We have people, all kinds of people, like very different kinds of people, and everyone is accepted here. Koi kisi ko nahi bolta ye kaisa sa, ye kaisa sa. Everyone is like, everyone has their place in Anant.
Thank you. So we have
And all of us have different levels of craziness, so everything is acceptable.
Yeah.
Including the faculty.
Yeah.
yeah, so we have with us Srinath here. senior student, the rock star of the college.
Sir.
So yeah, Srinath, your experience at Anant.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I'd like to say very well articulated, Urvi. I think she's covered so much overall. I
Thank
was
you.
listening, I'm like, she's checked all the boxes overall. So
Thank
I'd,
you.
I'd like to give an experience. Let's say, like, let me just run you through a day at Anant. Let's say from the time you wake up. I'm a hostel student. I'm from Mumbai, so I'm in the hostel, and I'll just give you one brief day. So will that work, sir?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So morning we get up, we have our breakfast at our hostel. We have 4 meals provided. That is breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. So morning we start with breakfast. Morning 9:30 class, dun, 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 running by all stationery shops, saying hi to everybody. What's up? Setting up the tone, reaching to class. Some are also sleepy. It's okay. There are all kinds of students. So Satya, I mean, I'm telling you everything. Don't worry. And we can also have some cheers and some reactions if not cameras on the Zoom. So that sort of help the storyteller ki, ha, y'all are listening. Yeah. Okay. Or chat is also good. Okay, going ahead. So then we have 2 sets of classes. I'm talking about my routine. So morning may we have the studio, product design studio, where we are running. Thank you. Appreciated you. Appreciated. Thank you. So morning may we have this product design studio. As how Urvi was mentioning, we have a lot of freedom in choosing our fields. So one of the time when Bhaskar sir was taking our studio, he laid out an entire map of the product design. Product design mein kya aata hai. There is consumer durables, there is furniture, there is lighting, and we were given a very comprehensive understanding of what each field demands of you. So then either you can choose of what something that is very innate in you, let's say consumer durables, that is your everyday objects, that is very research intensive. So if you are very much research based, you like research, you could go for that kind of thing. Or if you wish to pick up that skill, you can choose that. So very much it's a clarity, and we are encouraged to sort of choose accordingly. And then we work on a project. So first half nikalta hai discussion mein. So first half the faculty is teaching you get on some new skills. Then you have some practical sessions. Everybody has a individual project that we are working on. So after the theory class, we go and discuss with sir, okay, this is my product, this is what I'm thinking, how should I go about it, this is my target segment. So aisa pura comprehensive course chalta hai. And then we have the lunch break. Courtyard is the best place you should be. But sometimes being in the hostel, I feel I'm missing out on so much in the courtyards. Something or the other is always happening. We have different clubs that are hosting different activities. Could tag board leke aa gaya, okay, we want some ideas today. Someone is doing some announcement of some new event that is coming on. So courtyard is the best place to be. So anytime you'll get a chance to be on campus, come around lunchtime. You'd love it. So lunchtime ho gaya. And then after lunch, we have our classes, and classes similar. Dusra class ho gaya, we're sitting in class, we're having our fun time. And everybody has their designated spaces around the campus. So product design has 2-3 classrooms. Then everybody has the space. So that you also get like a den feeling कि तुम्हारा अड्डा है. So that is also good. I'm telling you, these छोटे-छोटे चीजें हैं, but it helps. It sort of gives you your space ऐसा करके. And then we also have a library, and actually very great library. We also have a self kiosk, self issuing system, and
Yeah.
we have I would recommend you all to check the university page and Instagram page for all these small updates. But it just helps a lot. We have a QR code that we can simply scan. Obviously we can approach the library for search. We get recent updates on let's say what are the new books that have come in. So let's say I'm a product designer, I'm interested in automobile. We can also put in request of what new books we want, and we get updates according to that as well. So that's pretty helpful, and एक comprehensive पूरा हो जाता कि हाँ पूरा network integrated है करके. So yeah, library में थोड़ा time spend करा, then you come back a little bit for snacks, then you have a little bit of your ये तो academic का side हो गया. अभी समझो कल को कोई event होना है, academics खत्म हो गया, then we have some late night permission that we take, and we stay back on campus to make tomorrow's event happen. Let's say अभी होली आ रही है. So Urvi was also a part of last Holi organization. We all मतलब पूरा दिन रात पूरा उसमें लगा दिया, पोस्टर में लगा दिया, टेबल्स उठा के यहाँ कर रहे हैं.
इस बार हो रहा है क्या होली सेलिब्रेशन?
हाँ, Holi is coming now, sir. 7th Holi.
नहीं तो are we doing? Last time I missed it.
Yes, we are doing it this year, sir. Please join us this time also.
Surely.
Yes. So Urvi also मतलब पूरा मतलब सब साथ में आके इतना मजे करते ना यार. It is actually fun. And other best part, as Urvi also mentioned, there is so much freedom. You can do so many things. and it's encouraging, and the environment also encouraging. Yes, Aditya, we also have a startup incubator. We have a Aram incubation center at AnantU University. And fun part, we also have, let's say in 3 months or something, there is one idea contest also that comes out where students can put in their ideas, and then after evaluation, they are for the evaluation they also get funding. We also have about 20 to 30 projects that have already been processed in the, and people have also got grants. So
27.
27. Yes, thank you, sir. So yeah, पूरा चलता रहता है 12 hours, 24 hours we're awake. Then after 3 days of being completely awake, then we take a Sunday off. Yeah, okay, now we'll sleep, and then another life starts. So yeah, that is a little bit sneak peek in the student life. Yeah. Any other touch points or wants to mention to Abhishek sir, will let us know.
Sure. So, sir, should we start the Q&A? A lot of questions I can see here.
Yeah, I can take them one by one. Yeah.
I will start with one basic question which every I think PD aspirant looks for.
Yeah.
What's the difference between product design and industrial design?
You know, this question never stops coming. I mean, it's one of those zombie questions, you know.
In this session that we had last year, I was the student that asked this question.
Oh, really? Were you?
Asked this question.
So, okay, so there's not much difference between product and industrial design. They're two faces of the same coin. The only word, when we use the word industrial design, because of the word industrial, it means that there is a connotation of mass manufacturing. So, कोई भी चीज जो बहुत ज़्यादा mass manufacturing होता है, that becomes industrial design. And when you make small quantities of something like, let's say, pottery, where you may do just 50 pieces or 5 pieces or whatever, that is product design. That's the only difference. And these terms are loosely interchangeable. So don't panic. That's why in our posters we say product and industrial design, ताकि आप confuse ही ना हो. दोनों जगह देते हैं.
There are a lot of questions on what are the skill set the student should have for PD.
Oh, very good. अरे, didn't I do a great presentation? उसमें तो सारा लिखा हुआ था.
Sir, your question.
No.
I think during the presentation this came.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll answer that. See, we will teach you what you need to learn, because that is our fundamental responsibility as teachers to train you for the real world. What, however, you must bring with you before you come to the university is an insane level of curiosity, right? Tremendous amounts of enthusiasm, because if you are not enthusiastic, don't come. You're not interested. So you have to bring a lot of enthusiasm. Like the reason today why you have Urvi and you have Srinath here is because they are the AnantU cutlets of their batch. We call them AnantU cutlets. तो सबसे AnantU ये दो ही है. ठीक है? So you need to have a lot of enthusiasm in this field, because sometimes it gets really tough. So you have to have the motivation to continue. And I think the third and probably the most important thing that you must have is that you should have the desire to make the world a better place. This is your fundamental driving force, which will keep you alive for as long as you live on this earth. That is important for us, because ये अगर motivation नहीं है, तो we cannot help you. But if you have the motivation that I'm going to make life better for people, or for pets, for animals, fantastic. Our doors of our heart and the institution are open for you.
So Aditya wants to know what is ergonomics?
Ergonomics is basically the point of confluence where human interacts with a machine. Simplest example, you sitting in a car and the dashboard has buttons and dials and things like that, is a classic example where a human interacts with a machine. That scientific study of how buttons are to be placed, what is reach, how do you calculate sizes, etc., is called ergonomics.
So there's a
student. Very important for product designers. Yeah.
There's a student. उसका नाम नहीं लिखा है, so it's Samsung 7 SM. So the questions are, so there are multiple questions.
Yeah.
I will read all.
Yeah.
I want to go with product design, but I am not quite sure about it. How should I decide? That's question number 1. Question number 2 by the same student is, do Anant offer 1 year fundamental course like NID? Third, what tech skills we should must know for designing?
Good. Three questions, interesting questions. So I'll take them in a slightly different order. The first question is that no, you don't need any technical skills before you come to the university. Please underline this in bold 72 point Times New Roman. You don't need technical skills before you come to the university because we will teach you that. We have all the courses to teach you what you need to know. But I already answered this 5 minutes back saying you come with a lot of curiosity, a lot of motivation, and the desire to make the world a better place. The rest, leave it to us, we will handle it. We will teach you what you need to know and survive in the industry. That's the first answer. Second question, Abhishek, if you don't mind repeating, I'm getting old.
Sir, foundation course. Do we have foundation?
Oh, yes, of course. All design schools across the country, don't panic, all design schools across the country offer you a 1-year foundation course where you are trained to think a little differently because your schooling may have forced you to think in a very mathematical way. So we will try and deconstruct that, but not to panic. It's a great experience. And if you're confused about what to take, everything looks attractive. It's absolutely natural. Don't worry. You're probably one in this high majority of 80 people who are 80% who are highly confused as to what to do. Don't panic. It's normal. So that is the reason why we offer you that 1 year. So that you can come, you can take a look, you can meet us, we will meet you, we will teach you a course called Exploring Design Disciplines, where you will experience all the majors. You'll experience एक छोटा garment बनाओगे, एक छोटा product बनाओगे, एक छोटा space बनाओगे, एक छोटा app बनाओगे. फिर आप decide करोगे, oh no, look, I like product or I like sustainable textiles. Product is too difficult for me. But you will decide that. So you have that 1 year, and trust me, what you know about product design or what you think you know about product design, sustainable textile space, you don't know anything about the profession. So come with an open heart and an open mind. We will do the rest.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
So question for Urvi and Srinath. So I see some questions related to sports. So if you can throw some light on the sports facility.
I mean, the Sanskar Dham sports facility is right there. We have a football team, girls football team, boys football team. Our girls football team just went to Gujarat National University. Inside the hostel, we have a very well-equipped gym. Like, I was honestly very surprised when I saw the gym. I was like, what? It's very well-equipped. It's free to use it. Yeah, actually, it's so good. And yeah, we do go on like tournaments and sports in general. The sports part is very active here.
Yeah, to add to that, Urvi did not mention that, there is a beautiful table tennis room.
Oh, yeah.
I play table tennis. I'm a hardcore TT player. Abhishek is a hardcore TT player. We carry our own rackets to college, hand-chosen rackets. We're serious table tennis players. So you have table tennis, you have tennis, you have volleyball, you have football, of course, you have cricket. And then there is a shooting range as well, right? So when we get really angry with some students who are not working as we expect them to work, we go and use the shooting range.
Also within the hostel, we have a sports room. So that has all of your board games and, just your regular carom, chess and table tennis, everything. People bring in Uno. So you come in at like 3 a.m. You'll always see at least 5 or 6 people in there playing some sort of board game. It's like the sports part is definitely there.
The faculty also play a lot of sports, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So faculty football team. These guys are cheaters. They haven't organized a table tennis tournament yet. Otherwise, I would have whooped everybody. But they haven't organized. They've just been.
Now it is in line, sir. We'll see you soon on the TT table soon.
Challenge है भाई, देख लो अभी.
No, sir. ले लिया, accepted.
T2 में.
सर बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं TT.
Serious players, sir. Serious players.
Done.
Sir, there's a question. As you have covered AR, VR part of product design. So this question from Arya.
Yeah.
If product design has UI, UX in it, so how it is different from interaction design? How to choose between the two?
Very good. I think that's a fantastic, very intelligent question. It's a very, very valid question. Now, um, please try and understand that 20 years back, there was no field called interaction design because there were no mobile phones. Mobile phones came about 20 years back. Okay. And as soon as mobiles were launched, then there began this field called human computer interaction. And the early transitions were actually product designers who went and became interaction designers because they understood that it requires a different level of skill set. Okay. But that field has evolved over 20 years into a separate field called UI UX. Now, what is UI UX? It's actually UX UI, but UI UX is easy on the tongue, so we say UI UX phonetically, but UX actually comes first, UI comes much later. What is UX? Which is user experience, which is the research to understand how people really think and interact with technology or interfaces or interaction. Right? Classic example, let me just give you, I'm a professor, you can't stop me from talking. So here you go. When you go to an ATM, what happens? You see that interface, you put that card, you press a button, you don't know which button to press, then you'll sochoge ki ye credit card kha gaya mera. All that things happen. That is classic, nothing but interaction design. So you don't need apps. That is interaction design. Right? Now, what is UX? UX is how that experience is. UI are the graphical elements, colors, logos, buttons, button ke piche shadow. That is UI. Now, that is UI UX, right? If you realize we live in a world where we have phygital products, as I said, that means that almost all products have displays, whether it is a car dashboard, whether it is an ATM, whether it is your cell phone. It's a simple, for example, COVID के बीच में आपने वो जो ऑक्सीमीटर देखा था ना, उसमें भी तो एक छोटा डिस्प्ले था जो 98, 99, 83 दिखा के सबको डरा रहा था, है ना? So that display is nothing but UI UX, and the body is product design. So we have to teach you UI UX. But so what does interaction do? Interaction takes it to one level higher. Okay, now interaction is purely interested in the software architecture part of it. So they're looking at information systems, they're looking at the logic, they're actually doing coding, they're looking at web technologies. So they don't build the body, they build the heart and the soul. We build the hardware around it. We're very good at building the hardware, and we deeply understand the software as well. We may not be able to build it as good as them, but we understand it really, really well. That is the difference between these two.
So there's one question which I will take.
Yeah.
So I have seen a lot of students asking about, we will be having a seminar on hostel amenities? Yes. So as soon as this series of introduction to the specialization gets over, we'll start with the hostel facility also. And do we have exam? Do we have to go through tests or exams? If you're asking about the semesters, yes, you have your end-sem juries.
Yeah, I can explain that. What happens is that you have a combination of different assessment methods. In some cases, you will stand and give a presentation. That means that you're measured on the quality of work, your presentation skills, and so on and so forth. In some cases, you will submit a presentation and it will be separately evaluated. Right? But वैसा नहीं होगा कि 3 घंटे बैठ के मैथ्स का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करके दिखाओ, ऐसा नहीं होता है हमारे यहाँ।
There was one question I missed out. Okay, sir, there's one interesting question. I don't know ये आपके लिए था या उर्वी के लिए या श्रीनाथ के लिए, but the question is, can you tell any product design project you worked on?
Yeah. Bhaskar sir only.
No, guys, you guys are right here. Talk about, in fact, Srinath, talk about your game. Yeah, this is so cool.
Yes. Okay, so last year when I was in my semester 4, and I was doing my product design studio, when we had to build our actual product. So I had taken up a brief of making a card game around climate change. And now that project has been on for a year. We are, so it's a climate change game where it's a 4 to 6 player game where people will play, and it's a survival game. So you are hit with different situations and you have to deal with the situation with the right set of resources. So, and everybody plays as a team together. So either everybody wins or everybody will lose. And yeah.
That's great. Urvi, what about you? What are you working on?
Last semester, so someone also asked about minors. So my minor is health and well-being. So we have communication design in our university, which is like a combination of graphic and photography. And you will notice that most of the students, they are always sitting over a computer or a digital, graphic tablet, and they have the worst posture in the world. You can imagine bad posture and multiply that by 10. That is the posture of our communication students. It's very bad. And since these are my friends, they also complained about how they had backache, neck ache, and pains in every part of the body. So for my minor, I also used my knowledge from product design, and I designed a kind of chair rest that one helps you keep your posture correct, and also it'll offer some relieve some pressure off of the major parts of your spine that help keep your spine in the quote unquote correct posture. That is something that I had worked on last semester.
Bhaskar sir, your project?
My first silly project was a lemon squeezer. Okay, I figured out I built a very cool Nimbu rus nikalne wala machine. It looks very cool. It was highly appreciated, but nobody bought it. Yeah, it was great, but nobody bought it. But my first successful project, literally, as soon as I finished, was I designed a sofa for my friend's father. तो उन्होंने शगुन पे 101 रुपए दिए थे 20 साल पहले. But then of course I've done bus washing machines, I've done train washing machines, I have done water purifiers, I have done medical devices, I have done software interfaces.
Don't forget the tiger you made.
Oh yeah, I made a tiger also. I made a robotic tiger, actual full-size robotic tiger. That if any of you are from Madhya Pradesh, or if you've been to the Kanha Tiger Reserve, there is this thing called the night scene. You should go and see it. 10 rupees ka ticket hai. You'll actually see a full-scale robotic tiger walk in a dark room, hunt a deer down. It's all robotics, what we call as animatronics, which you saw in Jurassic Park. Of course, I'm no Steven Spielberg, but we did build it, and it's very cool because we're still remembered for it. So.
Srinath, you knew about this tiger?
No, we didn't.
अब सर बाद में इनके साथ project share करना. So because I have done so many sessions with sir, so मेरे को सारे professors के secret projects पता है.
No, that was the first big successful project. But then I've built a lot of stuff. I've done exhibitions in Germany. I once did a 50-foot long aquarium in Himachal Pradesh. Like a 50-foot long, and there was no way to purify that amount of water. So we designed a completely new purification system to purify about 10,000 liters of water a minute. Just a completely new machine just to purify that. So.
Sir, one student wants to know a little more about transdisciplinary design.
Yeah. So transdisciplinary. Did I raise my own hand?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, this is crazy. It's gestural interaction. It is already. Okay. So look, transdisciplinary design is for people who like to customize their pathway. So they like a little bit of everything. Thali khaya aapne Gujarati thali, Punjabi thali, sort of a little bit of everything. So they're not able to decide ke Chinese khana hai, ye khana hai, wo khana hai. So so what they do is, I mean, jokes apart, what they really do is transdisciplinary students actually pick and choose courses from different majors. So you can do some courses in fashion, you can do some courses in interaction. You have to customize this journey, and there are faculty members who will sit and advise you, help you, counsel you as to kya lena chahiye, how do you really portray yourself well. But this is really for people who want to have their own journey. They're very sure about what they want to do, or you're totally confused about what you want to do. Both are okay.
So one student is asking, we have so many tools these days like Blender, Figma, Adobe. So are we taught this in institute, or do we have to learn it ourselves?
Yeah, we will not teach you Figma. We will not teach you Figma. We will not teach you Adobe XD, etc. because those are graphic design software. But what we will teach you is SolidWorks, Rhinoceros, Blender, Keyshot, If you want a little bit of AutoCAD, Illustrator, blah, blah, blah. But we cannot teach you everything. We will teach you how to learn, and you'll have to practice really hard and pick it up. But you saw the level of output that the kids have. I mean, so they've learned it.
Okay, I think this question is from a parent.
Yes.
So there are three questions. The
Ji.
first question is, my question is from the slide of three students, which
Yes.
showed in your presentation. Do the Mr. Joker student, being the most consistent, succeeded more in his life? Talking about me, I need more attention for perfection. This is question number one.
Yeah. Can I answer that?
Yes, sir, please.
Please don't take it very seriously. What happens is, after a long presentation where we've given too much amount of data, everybody's brain starts shutting down. So that was just to bring a smile onto the face. We understand very deeply that students are different, right? Students have different skill sets, they have different interests, they have different temperaments, right? And that's what I was using as a visual reference of the Indian team. Obviously, Navjot Singh Sidhu is as popular as Sachin Tendulkar. The point that we are trying to make is what we've understood in my 23 years of practice is that what really works is consistency in this field. So your ability to just be a little better each day, to get past your weaknesses every semester, is really the recipe for success. It doesn't mean that you cannot be maverick. Of course you can. We have several people who like to do different things. We're okay with that. But broadly, what we have seen is discipline really helps you succeed in this field. That was the point I was trying to make. I was just trying to bring a smile onto your faces.
Question 2 from same student is, how much does a product design earns per annum?
Good question. Very difficult to answer this question. And I will probably add this to another question that was posed in the chat column saying, do you have 100% placements? Right. My answer to both these questions, and I will be very honest to you today, please understand the point that I'm coming from, is that if any design school in this country promises you 100% placements, you must be highly suspicious. This is not an MBA. This is not a B school where somebody will get you a 5,000 rupees ka salary and claim 100%. It doesn't work that way. See, what happens is that each of the projects that you do in your semester adds up to what is called as a portfolio. Most of you already know it because you might be going for training classes and उन्होंने एक बनवाया होता है आपसे portfolio, correct? Now, our portfolio is very different from that portfolio. Those are skills portfolio, but when we do our projects, we have proper representation of our work. Now, the kind of projects that you choose often decide the career breakthroughs that you get. Like, for example, if you do 5 projects in furniture and lighting because that's your passion, and then one day Accenture comes and offers 12 lakh rupees an annum and you sit in that interview and you don't make it, are you any less? No, that's because they understand that your passion is in furniture, right? So they will not take you because all your work was in furniture, and they would simply say, please go to a furniture design firm, please go to an architectural firm where they appreciate your work better. But if you do UI UX, if you do tech, if you do metaverse, if you do AR VR, and then you apply to Accenture, you apply to TCS, obviously it's what we call as a natural fit, right? So one has to work on this natural fit. So 100% placements does not happen in the world of design, not just here. I think in any university across, almost 20 to 25% of the people opt not to have placements because they want to be consultants or they want to start their own studios. They have a lot of aspirations, so people do that. So please don't fall for that 100% placement. The second thing is that your portfolios will actually decide the sector where you go to, and the sector is often based on different, and it pays differently. I would urge you at the starting of your life, professional life, to focus on what I call as the happiness index. Please pay attention. Focus on something called the happiness index. 12 lakhs a year will make you happy for 6 months. But once the pressure starts, you'll realize that that was not your passion and that was not what you wanted to do. You wanted to be in a different field, and it will start to hurt you really, really bad. I have had students who've gone and worked with education They make 40,000 rupees a month. I've got students who've gone abroad for masters. I've got students who are working in game design. We've got people in TCS and Accenture who are doing very well financially because it was their interest and they worked hard for it. But somebody else is equally happy in a different field. I've had so many, like Srinath here, I have so many people who are deeply interested in toys. Do you think toys will pay that kind of money that IT pays? It won't. Let's be honest, it won't. But the happiness at your age is what you should be really looking for. Money is very important. I will never discount that. I am all for it. But don't decide just on the basis of money. It'll hurt you in the long run.
The third question was, with product as major, can we choose minor subjects as well? Yes, we have 7 minors, apart from the 7 majors that we offer.
We have 9 minors now.
Oh, we have 9. Okay.
Yeah. So we have 9 minors and 7 majors. That simply means that you can take a major in product design, but you can actually do a minor in sustainable fashion. Right? You can actually do a film as minor. You can do, I have it written on the board, so you can do furniture, you can do fashion, you can do graphic design, you can do visual arts, you can do arts. You can do healthcare and well-being, which Urvi has taken, for example, right? We just finished class in the morning today. She's already heard too much of me the whole day today.
Okay.
So, but we have different offerings and you can choose, right? And we will actually have, we're planning to have new minors, but gently, steadily, we'll probably offer entrepreneurship in 2023. And I'm also increasingly optimistic that we will offer a minor in automotive design starting 2023. I'm optimistic at the moment.
So there's one very unique question
Yeah.
which I have come across in so many sessions which I have done. What course would you think is the best for people really, really interested in drawing? Which courses requires a lot of drawing?
Okay, interesting. All majors of design require drawing, right? Drawing is a tool that you have to really use to put your ideas on paper. Very, very important. But the degree varies. Like product design has a good amount of drawing. We will expect that from you. Fashion illustration is also drawing. Interaction mein thoda sa kam hoga. But if you really just want to draw all your life, I think I would suggest visual arts. You should do, painting, you should do visual arts, because that's really where Urvi, Srinath, just jump right in and answer that question. Huh? I mean, you guys are in the thick of things.
Does industries from all domain comes for campus or only software?
I would put it like this. If they don't come, we go to them. It works both ways. We've got students in Crompton Greaves, we've got students in Philips, we've got students in Studio ABD at the moment. Some really, really big design firms as well. So it is not about the conventional model of placements. Design is very, very, very Josh based. So you will carve your own way even before you come to the final semester. You would have already sent it out, and you would have done that. That would be nice, actually.
Okay, so last few questions, sir. I know we have exceeded the time and you are still in campus.
No problems.
What are some internship opportunities in the field of product design, and how many internships can we do, where, and from which year?
Brilliant question. Very, very good question. Thank you for asking this. So the way our semesters are scheduled is that, you start in the first week of July and you'll end in the last week of November. Then we take like a 1.5 months, 2 months break, which is the winter break. And then you again start your second semester in around mid of June, just after, Uttarayan, Makar Sankranti, Jan 16th, Jan 17th is when you start. And then you go all the way till May end. So it technically means that you get 2 months in the summer and you get 2 months in the winter. or just about 8-9 weeks in the winter, 2 months in the 8 weeks in the summer. Now, both these are opportunities for internships, right? Because these are 2 months is good. Now, but the word internship has to be understood based on your skill set and your level of expertise. When you're in the second year and you still haven't learned the ABC of product design, you can't aspire to go to Tesla. It would be silly for us to send an application to Elon Musk and then you come back and complain to me, sir, मैंने तो लिखा था लेकिन Elon ने जवाब भी नहीं दिया सर मुझे. That's not going to work, right? Because we have to. So sometimes we say, just go and work with a small industry out there, like छोटा सा एक firm. Actually, I would say go and work with a cobbler or go and work with a potter in the beginning of your years because you really understand how to work with your hands. It's a great way to start. But when you come to the senior years is when your ambition should grow. And then, you're applying to larger firms and larger studios. But long story short, summer, winter, 2 months. Product design में 2 months बहुत कम होता है. Products really take 6 months, 8 months, 12 months to make from concept to manufacture. But फिर भी, in terms of training, I think these are the 2 periods which we will have. But don't panic if you don't get an internship. It's all right. We have enough opportunities in-house where companies come and ask us to do projects. So we'll give that to you.
So, Srinath, are you still there?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so this message is for you from a student.
Okay.
I just want to tell that means I'm reading her message that she was in campus for the campus tour we did, if you remember.
Yeah.
Okay? And she's saying that it was an amazing experience, and I already met your energy cutlets. I know. So in brackets, she has written, "I know you can't remember me, but I consider you as her idol." And just want to tell them that I made it happen. I would be love to be part of Anand. So that's for you.
Thank you so much.
The energy you are seeing
All
of
from-
Srinath right now, वो morning से evening तक night तक ऐसी ही रहती है.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So
So there's a question about international opportunities. I can quickly say that yes, you do have options in the summer. We do offer international exchange programs. It doesn't happen all the time, but we do have it many of the years. Funding पे depend करता है, but we normally offer it. We did one with Portugal. We did one with Italy. We have one coming up with perhaps Pennsylvania in the US. So yes, the answer is yes. But it changes every year depending on MOUs and so on and so forth.
one last question I will take before okay, out of the box question.
Yeah.
How long are the classes conducted?
Oh, good. Longish answer for a short question. Classes start at 9:30, lunch at 12:30, back to the studios at 1:30. You work till 5:30. Then I go home and you will work till 11:30.
11 is really early. I
Oh,
feel
11
like
is early.
11:30
On
is
campus,
way
on
early.
campus, 11:30
On
for the
campus till 11:30. But
Then
when you
work
go
still
back to
continues.
You will work, and I'll come back at 8 in the morning, and I will ask you questions all over again. So that's how it works.
So the new academic session would be starting from 10th of July, which is already mentioned in your offer letters.
Yeah.
The detailed plan of the orientation week would be shared later on. Yeah, so the specialization, the majors you would be choosing would be end of year 1, that after when the foundation year would be completing.
Yeah.
Okay, I am taking this last question. I will not take any further questions. Okay, scholarships, you can contact me. My number is available on the offer letter which you have received on your mail. So where do we go after transdisciplinary design?
A good question. Frankly, the answer is anywhere because it's transdisciplinary design. So it would be really difficult for me to say आप यही काम करोगे. Product होता तो मैं बोल देता कि look, I mean, this is where you go. fashion hota to film hota tha, I would have said you go to Bombay, boss. That's where the industry is. But trans-discipline honestly is everywhere. So it's difficult for us to predict what your journey is going to be.
So I'm not taking any further questions because sir को अभी वापस campus से पार्टी तक जाना है. So where party is? NID अहमदाबाद के बाजू में. ठीक है, सर का घर है. So I've shared my contact number in case of any financial aid request or any if you're stuck somewhere or the education loan, you can contact me directly. If I'm not answering, समझ जाना कि मैं campus tour पे हूँ या मैं किसी meeting में हूँ. Drop a WhatsApp message as soon as I'm free. I will give you a call back. And thank you so much, Bhaskar sir, Urvi, and Srinath, taking out time and taking the students through the journey of this product design discipline.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I hope all these participants, we see them in campus on 10th of July.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to that. And thank you, Abhishek, for hosting this. I know it's pretty late for you as well. Urvi, Srinath, thank you for your energy, for your commitment. They are the true AnantU cutlets that we have. We're really, really happy. I mean, frankly speaking, I mean, these guys actually make us proud, right? I mean, we wouldn't be faculty if we don't get students. So they say that when the teacher is ready, the student appears.
And let me just add, they were informed only at 5 o'clock that they have to attend this session at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we've readied them. They're commandos, so they're always ready.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Bhaskar sir, for this wonderful
My pleasure. My
today.
pleasure. Wish you.
Thank you once again, Urvi and Srinath, for this session. Recording of this session will be uploaded on YouTube and will be shared with all the students in next 2 days.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.